With this in mind, I reached out to some Jewish friends about starting a Jewish women's group. After all, nothing really like that existed on campus, and while there were Greek alternatives, they really didn't fit our needs. Mainly, I just didn't want to fight for pizza again. The idea was to create something that highlighted the uniqueness of Jewish women and intertwined Jewish traditions and culture into the organization itself. So, for months, we worked arduously in hopes of figuring out what kind of organization to start, how to get people to join, what our goals were, etc. So what we did is we launched a survey over different social media, like Facebook, for example, to see if we could gauge interest in this idea of a Jewish women's group or a Jewish sorority. And we were in luck because this organization was in high demand. We received numerous responses from women, and more importantly, we received an equal, if not a larger, amount of responses from Jewish men. In fact, the Jewish fraternity was infatuated with the idea of a Jewish sorority. What better way to score yourself a formal date than through a nice Jewish sorority? So, we founded the first local sorority on campus for Jewish women called Kappa Lambda Epsilon, or KLE for short. We wanted to provide a cost-effective alternative to any Jewish women that wanted a sisterhood experience on campus. We also didn't have any mandatory programming, which made us different from Greek life. There was no rush or dress code or a type of girl. We wanted Jewish women to come as they are. What started out like this quickly grew to something more like this. And soon, the media got involved. From one article to the next and to the next, the campus community and the Jewish community caught on that we were doing something big for Jewish women on campus. I think that the thought had initially been that there wasn't enough interest among Jewish women to form this group. However, we clearly proved them wrong. Today, Kappa Lambda Epsilon has grown so much that it's been officially absolved by a real Greek chapter called Sigma Alpha Epsilon Pi. This exponential growth for this idea of a sisterhood experience for Jewish women now created a self-sustaining community on campus. And my experience starting KLE taught me quite a few things. I would like to leave some of those lessons with you today. The first is that you will need to know how to sell yourself, especially in college. In order to get people to listen to you, you will have to work hard to market yourself. This process is incredibly challenging, but as you get more practice, it does become easier over time. I saw this firsthand when trying to start a Jewish women's group that never existed on campus before for women who claimed that nothing ever fit them right on campus. It took a lot of thinking and conversations to figure out how to incentivize these women to join as well. The reason I think the process was successful is because we listened to the voice of these women and we made an organization that fits their voice, rather than presenting them with an organization to which they should adjust their voice. As you transition to real adult life, one of the most important things you can do is become an advocate for yourself and for your interests. And then the second lesson, and I particularly like this one, is the difference between a leader and a manager. Leaders know how to get in the weeds and do the work. And overseeing something is unfortunately not leading it. We had to do a lot of listening as we tried to form a women's group that could create a meaningful experience for all sorts of women. And I think that was truly my biggest takeaway, is that leaders know how to listen to those who they attempt to lead. And finally, the most profound lesson I learned is that whenever you are lost, going back to your roots is the most therapeutic and guiding thing you can do for yourself. Our passions drive us to make the choices we make, and our gut always tells us what the right course of action is. On such a big campus, it becomes incredibly easy to get lost. And I'm sure all of us have heard of people that either started a very successful app, moved to New York to become a celebrity, became Instagram famous. And when I came to campus, hearing these stories made me feel very small and insignificant. However, after starting KLE, I learned that this approach to valuing accomplishments is incredibly wrong. Every student on this campus has an opportunity to make an impactful change if they find a cause that they're truly passionate about and they pursue that cause. My friends and I didn't form KLE with any large agenda in mind. In fact, we just wanted a women's group and to make friends. But because we were so passionate about this idea of the group, we grew it into something big and something that is now meaningful for generations after us in college. So as you continue your time at the university, I hope that these lessons will serve you as well as they have served me. And most importantly, I do hope that you enjoyed my story. Thank you so much.